grab whatever art supplies you have and join along with me. I'm just showing you, like, before I even start, just how you can have fun, and it just takes a little bit of practice, but you can draw loosely and freely with just a little bit of practice. So I'm going to give you some of my tips for that, and we are going to jump in. I'm using a bunch of different art supplies. I'm going to walk you through that in a minute, but you don't need anything special. Just grab whatever you have and join along with me. I'm using ink, and so I have ink in this little glass container. The ink I'm using is acrylic ink by Liquitex. One of the tips I have is you can just draw. I should have gotten water and I didn't. But I'm going to draw these sort of boxes, and hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to draw a bunch of boxes. You can use tape if you want. I wanted to get some washi tape. I don't have any, so I'm just going to put these sort of grids in here. And what I'm going to do is practice drawing faces in each one, because I feel like drawing faces right now, but we'll see how this video goes and what comes out of it. I'm going to put the brush down now, and I'm going to maybe should I pick up a pencil and just see what kind of faces I could draw? I'm wondering if I should use a pencil. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use a pencil. I don't hold my pencil like this. I find it prevents me from being loose with my drawing, especially if I've got like 6 boxes that I need to fill in. So when it comes to practicing drawing, practice holding your pencil like loosely and letting whatever come out, come out. And maybe it is faces today. And I'll just draw, will I use a pencil for each one? Maybe I will, and then we'll see. I'm gonna draw a straight, like a face, like taking up the whole sort of box. I'm only drawing the outline because I think I want to go over it again in ink or some other art supply. Maybe this one will be like a side profile. And again, we have to be loose and willing to make mistakes. That's the other thing. Practice often and allow sort of mistakes to happen. It's hard to improve your drawing if you're not allowing for mistakes. You know, people don't get better at a skill just because they just started it. You have to really practice to improve. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is kind of fun, because one of the things I've said in my previous videos is that sometimes it takes a few drawings before you can actually even like really, really loosen up. So again, just the faces. I'm going to get into the rest of it after I'm going to do a face that's looking up maybe. So we'll see. Well, I don't want to draw the eyes in, but she's going to have shadow there. Should I do another? Maybe I'll just do like somebody, like one thing I like to do sometimes is 3 faces. So I just do 3 circles. Nothing I do is realism, but that's just the first part of learning to draw, is just, I think this is fun, doing a grid drawing and then throwing in some shapes, holding your pen loosely and like seeing what evolves. And now we're going to go in and sort of manipulate them a bit and see what we can do with these. When you have a sketchbook, this is my sketchbook. I do my little YouTube videos. When you have a sketchbook, allow yourself to practice without erasing your mistakes. That's one tidbit of advice I would give you, is that you don't need to erase mistakes, because then you're spending all your time focusing on perfection instead of getting joy out of the whole process. I'm not sure how I feel about this pen. And so now I'm going to just draw her little eyes in. And every face you can make different, or you can have them be the same. It's whatever you want. It took me years to learn how how to comfortably draw faces without sort of giving myself such a hard time. So practice a little bit every day. Don't erase your mistakes. Keep going and see how you can make it work for a particular drawing. And don't be afraid either to abandon a drawing. Don't be afraid to let it go. If it's not working for you, you can let it go, but you can always come back to it later. That's the other thing. Sometimes I'll hold on to artworks for a while and come back to it later. You don't need to give up. You can keep going, or you can let it go for another day. I'm just doing whatever I feel like. It doesn't matter if the neck is too wide. It doesn't matter if the face shape is not perfect. We're just practicing and having fun, and we're going to bring this to life after. The other thing when it comes to learning how to draw is remember why you like to draw. You don't have to draw to be, a professional. You might just be having fun. Not everyone who plays an instrument wants to be, a professional musician. Sometimes we just have hobbies that we really enjoy doing and we want to get better at. You can consider this similar to that. What do I want to do with this lady? I'm trying to do eyes a little bit different. I'm trying to do like a curve with a line and then the pupil. I also practice like a cat eye. And that's what I'm doing here. But it's not really working out. But again, it's all about the practice. And I know I could probably make this come to life. And I'm giving her some big lips and maybe some earrings. The other thing too that I'm having fun with right now is I'm just drawing with one color. And I'm going to block in. I think what I'm going to do is block in some color in the outside of these boxes. These boxes are kind of just fun. I meant for her to be looking up, but I feel like I didn't do it quite right, but that's okay. I'm going to play with her eyes here. So I practice drawing every day. That's why you see me do videos almost every day. I'm always practicing my art practice. And I feel like sometimes for me, I guess she's not looking up, going on YouTube kind of helps me. But if I want her to be looking up, then maybe I don't know if she's looking up. So be willing to make mistakes. Like I made a mistake there. She's not bad. We'll give her some earrings. We'll see what happens with that lady. And this is my favorite here. I love to do like 3 faces. Not really obviously focused on perfection. I don't even know if these are, I don't know what's happening here. But again, that's part of the fun, isn't it? Okay, so I've got my faces mapped in, and now I'm going to color them in. The thing I wanted to mention, and that I've said before, is like a lot of times for getting better with drawing or even painting, a lot of times I'll get like 6 pieces of paper and tape them to the wall and go from one to the other. This is a similar idea, except it's like a grid or boxes, and you can make it really pretty and put tape along them, and maybe I'll do that one next. Put tape, but I don't have painter's tape, but put tape and then do each one and paint it and pull the tape off and see how it looks. What I'm gonna do now is maybe paint some, I'm gonna get some, well, I need a little water, I think. You can do this with any subject. It doesn't have to be faces. So I have a watercolor paintbrush, and I'm using ink, like I said, and I think what I'm going to do is map in the outside of these and make them bold, like color block type thing. This is just regular sketch paper. When I'm practicing, I don't want to use expensive paper, and I kind of like working on big pieces of paper Let's see, I'll do this one here. Whoops, uh-oh, got a little bit of the black ink there. But again, you keep going. I'll figure that one out after. What do I want to do next? I think I want to do a yellow, maybe. Let's see if this yellow will work. I don't know. Might have soaked it all up there. Oh, good, look at that. That is so bright. Maybe her hair will be yellow. And really, it's all about the play. Oh, I like the yellow here too. And now maybe I'll do like a turquoise. It's like a greenish color, but I've got the yellow in it, so it might be a little more green than I imagined. I'll add a little blue to that. And I'll do this one. So not only am I playing with drawing, I'm also playing with colors. And do we call it color blocking? I don't know. I'm just playing with colors and seeing what kind of evolves here. And so far I like it. If you are looking for, I have ebooks on how to draw faces, and I will leave a link to the different books that I have. I have a lot of different downloadable books and drawings and sketching. If you're looking for some practice, they're practice workbooks, and some of them are just sketches. Okay, so I've got this in, I think. Oh, I've got red. I think I'm going to do some of the girls' lips, like this one here. What I like is I just drew a line, so now I'm going to draw like just a little lip. Maybe I'll draw some cheek color here. We'll get her lips in. Maybe a little bit of pink and red mixed together. It's funny because I saw white ink and I was like, why would I need white ink? But I think maybe you can mix the white with the other colors and make it more like a softer shade. I know I could add water to it too, but I don't feel like it, so I'm just going to do that. All of these ladies are going to have the red cheeks. This is just a great way to discover your style, but also what you like and what you don't like. And again, maybe one thing will turn out that you enjoyed. These are fun. Okay, will I put little lips on these folks? I will. I'm just dabbing it in there. I don't even know. These are almost like characters. Like these faces are kind of odd, but I like them. Okay, so you can see it's coming alive. I'm now going to go in with my Neocolor, not to every face, but to some of these faces, and just add whatever I feel like adding. These Neocolors are fun and they're water soluble, so you can add a little bit of water and make them almost like watercolor, really. I don't know if I want to color in their whole faces, but I like to give like a little bit of shading and see where it goes. One of the best things you can do is just like I add a little shading to one side of the face and a little bit of the neck. So I did that there to all these ladies. And now if I add a little bit of water, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these ladies. Let's see what happens. The next tip is don't be afraid to try different art supplies. You could see that I used ink and I used Neocolor crayons, and now I'm just using, I have a selection of colored pencils that I want to give a try on top of here. The focus is not to draw perfectly. The focus is not to create a masterpiece. The focus is to see what comes out in your drawing. And so I like this lady, but I feel like a little blue would look nice on her. And so I'm just scribbling in some blue. You got to find out what art supplies you like. You have to find out what style you like. And again, your art journal is for you. Really doesn't matter. It's not the final result. It is the process. And so for this lady, I also feel like doing like maybe a frame around her little block here. I could literally do whatever I want. I mean, this is a no rule thing. How are you supposed to get better at drawing and improve your drawing? Number one, if you're not practicing on a regular basis. Number two, if you're being judgmental, you're going to have problems. And number three, trying different art supplies and see how they all perform. I've got some red here. I wonder what. And again, this is sketch paper, so I'm holding out hope that it's going to stick with me. But sketch paper is really not meant for the water, but I don't care because I like practicing on sketch paper. For some reason, it gives me the freedom to do whatever I want because I don't have to worry about mistakes. I feel like doing some kind of, I don't know. I've got these Stabilo woody crayons. I was kind of hoping for like more of a white, but I'm just going to put it right here. I wanted something lighter. I do love a good neon pink. I wanted to do some kind of, maybe I want to do a yellow. I wanted to do like a stripe. Let's see. I don't know why, but again, you're just playing. And I also want you to see I'm really holding things loosely. I'm not holding on really tight. I do have white for these Neocolors, so let's see if, I know I personally like the scratchy marks. Not everyone likes scratchy marks, but I know I do. I have acrylic marker as well, and I kind of want to play with her hair a bit. And now I'm coloring outside the lines, but that's okay. Again, this is all about having fun. And I'm gonna give her some fancy, maybe her other eyelash will be there. I don't think I have everything, obviously quite right, but I kind of like that. And maybe I'll do like, for whatever reason, I really wanted yellow there. I'm gonna go in with her hair as well. I'll give her a necklace. Do you see how the loopy lines here match the loopy lines there? Sometimes that's all it takes to bring a cohesiveness to your artwork. Even if it's just a sketchbook page, you can do like a pattern that repeats. Like maybe I could do, maybe this lady. I'm not sure if this is ladies or angels. Usually when I draw three, they're angels. So let's see. And if you notice, I forgot their eyebrows. These ones are funky. They are really imperfect. So, and I'm not trying to make perfect, but I am going to try to adjust them a little bit. And we'll see what happens, like with these women, or angels, I'm not sure. I like her. I like that her eyebrows go right off her face. And it's okay to like things that other people are not going to like. I love this lady. I don't want to do too much to her, but I do love this lady. I want to give her like really long eyelashes. I like her long neck and her fancy hair. So she's one of my favorites. And maybe I'll give her a necklace, but hers will be like this. And so now it's just a matter of refining. Maybe she'll have earrings on. So practice, not having an end result in mind, playing with different art supplies, holding things loosely, and not, again, it's not about the outcome. Did you enjoy the process? Did you learn one new thing? What is one takeaway? Do you like something that maybe you don't see other people doing? Did you discover something that's unique to you that you love about your art? Again, I've got the pattern in there. I've got the pattern here. I've got lines here. I've got the circles here. So what I might do is just draw lines. Maybe it's almost like she's got a crown on, isn't it? It's almost like she has a crown on. I think I might leave that. She's got a crown on too. But do you see how I just discovered that? That is so much fun. Okay, she's got a crown, she's got a crown. Okay. And now I'm just like, oh, what would happen if I brought her right out of the box there? Just literally drawing and coloring outside of the box. I like the look on this lady's face here. She looks like she's in deep thought, as does this lady. I'm really not a fan of her eyes. I don't know what I did here, but again, you gotta keep going and allow the mistakes to happen. I kind of like her, and it would be cool if she came out of page too. Super fun. Her eye is bizarre to me, but we're gonna leave it. And now I want to have this in a dark color because the rest are all. Now, I'm not going to color this in anymore. You do have to be willing to let go. Although what I am going to do is add a little bit of white to the eye, and then I'm going to try my gold ink and see how it works on the page. So this is just Faber-Castell white acrylic marker. I'm just going in and dotting it in her eye because I want her eye, oops, I'll go back in there. I want their eyes to sort of pop a bit, and maybe their lip, and maybe a little bit on the cheek area, anywhere that there would be a highlight. But again, you're just exploring and playing. You don't even, like, this doesn't have to be faces. You can do anything. You can draw anything you want in these sort of grid drawings. I kind of like that her lips are just like I left them bare. I didn't make her lip a color. I kind of feel like she stands out quite a bit. So take a step back and look at your artwork. What is it that you like? Okay, I'm loving this. I'm going to try my ink. And it's Winsor Newton. It's supposed to be like, it's gold ink. We'll see if it's as shimmery as I want it to be. This is how shimmery it is. Let's see how it looks on the paper. I've tried shimmery watercolor and I've never really enjoyed it. I don't want it to go and make this look like a picture frame. I like this gold. And I don't mind that it's dripping. And again, it's not about perfection. It's just playing with your art supplies. Super cute. Okay, let's see what I could do next. A little bit of jewelry. Onto her crown. And her necklace. No, that didn't work. I don't know what I think of her. I like her. The gold just not working with her. Maybe I do like the gold. And maybe I'll try to make this like a frame as well. I'm not sure. And maybe this one. Now I'm going to stand and look back, and I think I would let these dry and play around with them more. But sometimes you need to know when to sort of stop. You're not quitting, you're stopping, and you want to come back and see what it looks like later and make adjustments. I know all kinds of adjustments, sparkles, a little more pencil on top. There's so many things I want to do. Let's get a close-up. This is how my ladies are looking. Perfectly imperfect. It's all about the practice and picking one thing. If I was to pick one thing, and the other tip I have, the one thing, is that when you do a drawing, instead of beating yourself up about the mistakes that you made, pick at least one thing that you like. And if I'm looking at this drawing, there's a few things I like. I like that I did these sort of repeating patterns that sort of make this cohesive. I like that I discovered, oh, look what happens if I put a crown on these ladies. What else do I like? I like her eyes. I actually like her whole face. I like that I usually color the lips in, and I like that I didn't color the lips in. And so these three are my favorite. These ones, not so much. I'm happy somewhat with this side profile. Her forehead's not quite right. But if I'm focused on the things I like, it would be the top three. So again, working in a grid, or, you know, like creating 6 boxes or using 6 pieces of paper, you can practice quickly, loosely, holding your pen loose, playing with your art supplies without like locking yourself in and feeling like you have to do it just right. There's no need. This is just super fun. And actually, I know I'll be playing with this later. So you could just let it dry and play with it later. I would love to know if you're going to give this a try. Leave a comment and let me know. And I hope these tips for learning to draw and just getting started with drawing, things that could help you in your practice, helped. And if you have a tip, just leave a comment below. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic day and happy sketching.